Hey guys, it's Mr. Lalamandir again. Um, I've had some people ask me, because they know I go through this, with something called anxiety. And anxiety, to me, can be a lot of different things. You just might be nervous, or you might be agitated by something. But there's a lot of different ways that you can do things that will help you. The first thing you need to know is that anxiety is normal. It happens to a lot of people. It happens often with a lot of people. So you're not the only one going through it, and that's important to know. It's also important to know that you're not alone in this process, that there are people out there that can help, who want to help, and who love you. Okay? So that is probably the most key thing in all of this, that you're not going through something that is completely different from everyone else. Somebody out there knows what you're going through. The second thing is to know some things that can help you. And, I'm not a doctor in any way, shape, or form. I don't know much about it. I don't know a lot of things about counseling, but what I do know are the things that have helped me. Okay, so that's basically what I can say. And you might try some of these things or you might not. But sometimes it helps to see what someone else is going through. So one thing I like to use a lot to help me is making sure I get a lot of sleep. Okay, when I don't have a lot of sleep, that's the time when I get pretty anxious. Okay, that's when my anxiety ramps up, and so that can be done through a lot of different ways. Different counselors and therapists can help if you're just not getting any sleep at all, ever. In my case, we found that certain things can help with the sleep, one of which was a doctor suggested a medication, and I take it on a regular basis, just like you might take a medication that you might have to take or your parents have to take. And this just helps me make sure I get the sleep that I truly need. And it's not a bad thing if a doctor suggests that that's what you need. Sometimes that's what we need. But there are other ways to help you sleep if you are having a tough time sleeping. And the people that help the most with that are people like doctors and counselors and therapists, because they really know what to do to help you in those moments. Okay. So reach out to mom and dad or reach out to friends and see if there are ways you can enable that sleeping more. There's ways that helps with sleeping too. One thing that helps with anxiety and with sleep for me is meditation. And you might hear a lot of adults or people talk about this, but meditation is the part of your day where you slow things down, concentrate on your breathing, concentrate on allowing thoughts to come and go, and to really just slow your world down a little bit. Really taking the time, putting time aside to do that. And it's surprising how much that little thing can help, both with the anxiety and with the sleep. Another thing that's helpful for me is to know that anxiety is different for everybody, and it can affect people in a whole lot of different ways. It's important for me to keep myself grounded and do things that remind me of where I am right now, and not worrying so much what's ahead or what happened, but being concerned about right here in this moment. And there's breathing techniques that can help you with that. And there are doctors can really help you with those things. There's also some apps out there. A really cool app that I use is called Headspace. And that does a lot with helping people learn how to meditate, but also how to do some really cool breathing exercises. And really concentrate on what's happening to me right at this moment. Not what's happening later, not what happened in the past, but what's happening right here in this moment. Just recognizing things around you, smells, the way things feel, the way your body feels, slowing things down can really help you with getting grounded into the moment you're in right at this moment. Another thing that's really cool to help is exercise. Now, I found in some situations getting my heart rate up really well, getting some cardio, they say, is good to help with some of the feelings I have. But I've also noticed that when I'm in the moment of anxiety, slowing things down, doing things purposefully, is really helpful. And one of those things is, for me, is yoga. And that is a process of slowing your movements down, making every movement purposeful, doing some stretching, concentrating on your breathing. I mean, all of that, being mindful of what's going around you, being in the moment and concentrated on what's happening now. You find that in all the elements of yoga. So cardio is important, but also some of those kinds of exercises that really keep things in focus for you and slow you down. Sometimes, doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes you might end up like me and doctors suggest that you use certain medications to help keep your anxiety in check. And that's a good thing in some cases. So what you want to do, if a doctor tells you that's what's going on with you, don't let that tear you up. Don't let that bring you down. It's very normal. Number one, a lot of people have to use the medication to help with their anxiety and anxiousness, and it really isn't something that means you are a weak person. In fact, to be able to go and talk to a doctor and ask for help and finding that help, I mean, that takes an extremely strong person to do that. It takes a brave person to admit that they do need some help, and you go to those people that you trust. And for a lot of people, that's their parents and their doctors and even their teachers. And sometimes it does take a little bit of medicine. But let me tell you something. What's also important is talking to people about it. And so it wasn't just taking my medication that helped me. It was also, and this is extremely important, it was also getting counseling or going to see a therapist to talk about what's going on, to get that out. If you bottle all of that up inside because you don't want people to know that you're going through that, or you're embarrassed or anything like that, it just makes it a million times worse. A million times worse. So you gotta be okay with talking to somebody. And there's people out there that do this all the time, and they're really good at it, and they're going to really help you. So I do both of those. I have to take medication, but I also take the help of another person, a professional who can help me. I mean, that has been amazing. There are a lot of techniques, a lot of things you can do, a lot of people you can talk to. The key is you do it consistently. When you start feeling better and you're not feeling anxious, but you know you're the type of person that gets anxious a lot, keep doing these things that help you when you're anxious. Okay, so doing the yoga or doing the meditation or remembering to take my medication and talking to people about it, I need to be doing that even in those times when I'm feeling perfectly fine. I work on it every single day. I have to, and more importantly, I want to. I want to talk to people about it. I want to keep this in check because we don't like how it feels when we're anxious, right? And here's the thing, guys. That's the way life is. We're going to have anxious times. We're going to have stressful times. But we're going to be able to get through it better if we use these things that can help us. And again, remember, it's different for everybody, okay? It takes work to figure out what's going to work best for you, okay? Because everyone's different, especially when it comes to anxiety. And you get the help, you and the doctors or counselors or your parents or your pastors or whoever, they can help you figure out, well, this really works for me when I do this. This really works for me when I do this. And when you do it consistently, it keeps that anxiety away, or it lessens the intensity of it. It's important to keep it from getting out of control. And the way you keep things from getting out of control is you work on it every day. And find something you like to do. Because then it's not working, you're not working on it every day. You're doing something you enjoy every day that has this benefit of helping you. But the most important thing about anything when we deal with anxiety, especially if we're a kid, is to know to talk about it. To not keep it inside you. Don't let it stay bottled up inside of you. Talk about it. Get it out. Let it go. You will not even believe the relief and the calm you will feel that first time you go to someone and say, I can't do this on my own. I need help. Can you help me? And you will be amazed at the response you will get. Because there are people out there, first of all, you need to know, that love you. And people out there that care. And they are there to listen. Having someone to listen to you is amazing. Okay? So you keep talking and you keep talking and you keep talking until you find that person that will, number one, listen to you. And I mean really listen to you. And number two is like, okay, let's figure out how to get this worked on. What are we going to do to help make this better for you? And here's the thing, guys. The thing I'm going to leave you with is there is hope. That anxious feeling, that anxiety, it's not going to last forever. I promise, I promise, I promise. As hard as it can get, it does get better. I promise you. Okay? All right, just know I love you guys, and I'll see you later.